Have everyone's attention, please. Okay, so yesterday we had the two questions. We were going to answer one of them. Yes, Aaron?
Wasn't one of them what genre is going into rock and roll?
Yes.
That would be country, folk, jazz, blues, and gospel.
Yeah, those are the five main ones that they give credit to, which was the root base of rock and roll. And then the next question we'll be answering today is, where did the term actually rock and roll come from? Did anybody know?
It was from a song. It was like they originally came from something called when the music started kind of fusing together between the blacks and the whites, they kind of, teenagers, they kind of got into it. That's all I really know about that, and I don't know exactly.
Well, we're going to find out today where that term comes from. And so on our board here, we're going to finish the presentation. Yes, Jennifer? Okay. Then there's a couple of video clips that we're going to look at. One's Elvis Presley Jailhouse Rock, and the other one is a Coca-Cola commercial that's focused very much towards the teenagers of the time of the 50s.
It was inspired by the title of the Muddy Waters song, Rolling Stone.
Oh. There's your answer. Muddy Waters. List 1 to 5 of your favorite music artists we're going to do. And all I want you to do is look up one. Choose one. Look it up, and what you're looking for is what influenced them. What might have they listened to in their youth, or maybe with their parents, or maybe older, that might have influenced them to maybe get into the rock and roll or their type of music, this kind of thing. We're going to do that. Then we are going to look up the name Alan Freed, read a little bit of his bio. And then the last question was, how was the mass media able to spread rock and roll to the teenagers of the 1950s? I'll just have you explain one or two little sentences on that. And that should pretty much conclude most of our lesson for today. So let's get started on filling the void. 1906 to 1963, I think we talked about. We got all the way down to the Beach Boys. Did we listen to them? We did.
Yeah,
we did listen. Okay, so we'll move on. Producers of pop music became more important than the artists of the music during the teen idol era. So then from there we go into the folk revival, and we have socially and politically aware artists, which include Bob Dylan. Joan Baez was part of that. The Mamas and the Papas was part of that era. It was just still a throwback to the regular folk music. It just added a little bit more of a beat to it than what might have been back then. But it was still a very mild, laid back, sometimes even silly little songs. Except for fourth period class told me Puff the Magic Dragon was all about marijuana.
It is.
Definitely.
So according to them, it's not, but they're lying.
That's a pretty clear message.
So, well, apparently not to the people who wrote the song. So, but there's a lot of different interpretations of songs and how what people think they're written about or written for, written of. The British invasion, 1964 to 1966. British music came to the United States, as Jennifer mentioned about the Rolling Stones. The Beatles was the one that paved the way for a lot of the UK musicians to come here. Elton John actually got his big break here in the United States. He said he wasn't doing so well in the UK, but he came to the United States. Everybody embraced him. They liked his music, and he gives all of his credit to his success here, actually, to the United States.
Sir. I said Sir.
Oh, Sir Elton John. Since I'm not a British, I think I'll just call him Elton John. The American response, folk music, British and artist influence on American folk music was the Byrds, Bob Dylan, Buffalo Springfield. You don't hear much about them anymore. Motown came out of that, a little bit more easy listening type of music, Motown was. And then where you got your Supremes, got your Temptations from there. And then the garage bands, sometimes certain artists during that time, one wonder hits, that's all, they came up with one hit and that's really all you heard from them again. And this is the Temptations' My Girl. I think it's on there. No, it's been removed. I couldn't remember if that was removed or another one was.
We still need to listen to it, it's legendary.
Huh?
We still need to listen to it, it's legendary.
Yeah, yes, yeah. A lot of the songs back then, a lot of those groups came up with different songs. Now we're into the psychedelic. 67 to 69, it was fueled by the drug LSD. So since you're taking LSD, you need to have music to go with the good feeling you're supposed to have on the LSD. So they invented music for the trip that you're going to take. And they would have, and then of course there was just different festivals, one of them being Woodstock, very much, a lot of rock, a lot of roll,
Lots of Jimmy.
a lot of drugs, a lot of other stuff going
Lots
on.
of Jimmy.
And the genres that fueled that was Southern Soul, bubblegum. I haven't heard of bubblegum, but it's come up a couple of times. Funk and even more in that time period.
Is there more? Is there a song for it?
No, there's no song for that one. Not certain what. I was trying to even think of one that would fit in that era, but I couldn't come up with anything. But music for the trip. It was supposed to mirror the feeling, of course, of how the drug makes you feel. The Beach Boys, Good Vibration, was part of that. Apparently Puff the Magic Dragon as well. And the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Band, was also supposed to be a part of that psychedelic, feeling.
And Diane
Just an all-around feeling of feeling good. The Grateful Dead, Jimi Hendrix especially, was all in that acid trip type era.
Ever seen the picture of John Lennon's Rolls Royce, you'd understand.
Then in the 70s to the 75s, expansions, a lot of experimentation took place at that time. The era was all about taking chances, different types of music, tons of new artists, a lot of hip-hop artists, rock as an art. Some of the genres that came out of that had to do with blues rock, progressive rock, country rock. Because before then, country was your very traditional country music, and then somebody started to add a bit of a beat to it, and so hence country rock. Psychedelic soul, Philly soul out of Philadelphia. Funk pop, some crossover during that time period. You had artists that were now crossing the charts, crossing over into one or the other, which was not really heard of at the time. R&B, reggae, and Motown during 70s and 75. Some of the new artists in that time, Led Zeppelin, Paul Simon, Leonard Skinner, Bob Marley, and the Wailers. The Jackson 5 came out of that period. So those were some of the new artists that appeared on the scenes during the 70s. Corporate rock, 76 to 1980. That was the era that really was very popular. Also referred to as arena rock. Usually played, of course, in very large arenas. That would be punk, disco at the time. Some of the artists include Boston, Journey, Foreigner, Styx, Rush, Queen, Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen, a lot more. All came out of that. They would pack an arena without any problem at all. And then we get into punk. Was a rejection of corporate rock. It was just the opposite of it. It was rooted in garage rock. First, it was hard, it was fast, hard edge. It usually has some sort of anti-establishment lyric to it. Artists include Velvet Underground, Sex Pistols, Elvis Costello. They were very much into that particular era. Then, of course, we get into the disco music. That was very popular for a short period of time. Donna Summers was a big one in that time frame. Going to a disco, the outfits and the clothes and the things that went on in a disco. And then along with that was the Village People. Their song YMCA was big in a disco room. And I thought I had we played it. Let me go.
If you want.
Just a very little bit of it.
Is it the music
I feel
video?
like we skipped the Nirvana that I heard earlier, and I'm sad.
No, I don't think we're done with Nirvana.
Nirvana's not yet.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming up.
Okay, that's right, my ears are wrong. But we're getting there.
It's coming up.
I was sad, I heard it earlier, and I was expecting it.
No, we'll play it. We'll play it.
I think this survived.
This was a big hit.
I don't even know where I was.
I was in my All right, let's settle down now. Okay, so we're into MTV. And in 81 to the 90s, music, of course, was now broadcast on television. The keyboard synthesizer was created during this time. The genres of that music was synth, pop, I don't know exactly what that is, Americana, college rock, some hardcore punk, heavy metal, rap, and more was all part of that. Everybody wanted their videos online because that was, kids would come home from school and they'd turn on MTV and that would be
MTV was the one.
their time period.
Yeah, I know.
And they based their format, of course, around music videos, but the people that put this together really didn't think, or the music industry really didn't think this was going to go anywhere. So they never put in a lot of money to create, at the beginning, the videos. So the videos that you see at the very beginning were very inexpensive, cheap sets, a lot of cheap costumes, whatever they could find in places. And then would put their music video together.
Please remember, this is pre-Teen Mom.
Huh?
This is way pre-Teen Mom.
Yeah, this was when the MTV was.
This is when it was music.
Yeah, this is.
There's a video.
There we go.
And then from there,
Say the same thing.
we're going to grunge. Yeah, I'm not watching that video again. So grunge, 91 to 94, it's online. So if you want to go through online and find that, you can watch that video. Anyway, grunge came out of actually a depressed economy. That's where the music came out of. Sometimes it's referred to as Seattle sound because it actually was created in Seattle. Artists were noted for their unkempt appearance, and the Sub Pop records were the first released grunge music. Some of the artists, of course, was Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Blind Melon, and Alice in Chains.
Such good music.
Some of them I've never heard of.
Soundgarden.
Hold on.
Yes.
You've never heard of some of those?
What?
Yeah. I've never heard of Blind Melon, Alice in Chains.
You've never heard Soundgarden. Black Hole Sun.
I think they took it.
Won't you come wash away the rain? Black Hole Sun.
But what I was going to say about Nirvana is I lived for about 10 years next to his aunt, and Kurt Cobain would come over and visit his aunt ever so often, and so never spoke to the person, but I did see him on occasion when he had come by. And then the other artist with him, I think, was Chris.
Novoselic.
Yeah, I worked with his
mom
aunt
worked
as
with
well,
him in a
and
record store.
her sister would come by to visit, and sometimes he would also come by to visit as well, and he would say hi. So that's my little contribution to Nirvana. But we're going to go ahead and listen to his. I think I have to go back.
Literally just playing this.
I was literally just playing this like 10 minutes ago.
I never saw it. Okay, from there it goes into sort of a mixed bag of music from the 95 to the 2000. Everyone was competing to be the next big thing in rock and roll. The invention, of course, of the CDs at the time sent music to even a higher level of marketing than the records and the 8-track tapes ever did. There wasn't just a particular genre of music that was at that time. It was just what everybody wanted to listen to. There was a lot of artists that come out with music, from country western to hard rock to pop. So it was, like they mentioned, it's just sort of a mixed bag of things. Everything was sort of popular in its own way. They have the alternative, of course. Bubblegum once again. I don't know who they are, but Boys to Men. And then electric dance music, Tangerine Dream, The New Order. Rap, country. Garth Brooks was real big during that time. George Strait,
Are we still
Aaron
in
Tippin.
95 to 2000 right now?
Or what?
Oh, it's just,
95 to 2000?
Oh, it's over?
Oh.
Yes.
Like this song?
It's cute.
Yeah.
Started out.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna be
I
all
can't
night.
say that I know the song.
Huh?
Unless you second it on.
He's a good one.
American Soldier.
I like that, he's a really big guy, he's got a real deep voice. I can't remember his name. Yeah. I like his music. Trace acting. This music is sort of good.
We don't have to keep doing this.
Good song, though.
I had to listen to all this. So then we get into the era that we're in now, the digital revolution, from 2001 to present. The invention of the iPod made music marketing even more popular than the CDs. And of course the tunes. In this time area, they say there's not one dominating genre over the next. Yes?
Skipped rap.
Did I?
No, we skipped two
Like it's not
There
there.
really is rap.
It's literally not there.
Rap is there.
But
It says rap
it
right
says,
there.
but
Oh, Tupac is right there. He's right there. He's right there.
Oh,
there's
there's
so
Tupac.
much more to that.
Tupac.
It's like,
I was, yeah, it's right there.
Eminem.
Yeah, there isn't, I mean, that's all they mention of rap, that's all it was mentioned. So I don't have any of the music for it. But,
Ice Cube.
the one thing though, in the music industry that I've noticed, and I'm sure you have, is the music, instead of being somewhat hidden message, is now becoming more suggestive. So they're no longer hiding a message within a song, they're just coming right out and saying it. So that's a little bit of what is going on now.
New music.
hey,
So of course, we're looking at alternative pop, hip hop, anthem pop, indie rock, folk rock is part of it. This is Lighthouse. You guys know who Lighthouse is?
Lighthouse.
Oh, Lighthouse, did you say? That's part of that era. And that's the end. So we've gone from 1954 all the way up to 2015.
See, that wasn't like modern music though.
Now what I want to do is I want to show you two video clips. The first clip we're going to see is Elvis Presley, the Jailhouse Rock. When Elvis Presley first was on the Ed Sullivan Show, Ed Sullivan asked him, could he just please stand there and do this song? And he said, well, no. He said, I don't think I can possibly do that. And he wanted to know why. And they said, well, I can't have you wiggle your hips. On the Ed Sullivan Show, they filmed him from the waist up doing the song because he said there was no way that he could do the song just by standing there.
Elvis the Punk.
So, yeah. So they did not want to see him doing the hip movement on national TV at the time. Now we look at it and think, well, that's so silly. But back then it wasn't so silly. So, and then the next one we're going to see is a Coca-Cola commercial, which is centered towards teenagers. And at the time, like we mentioned yesterday, teenagers now have money, and teenagers like to spend money. Teenagers like music. So this is what the Coca-Cola company was focusing on. Teenagers getting together, having a good time, but make certain that your good time also includes a nice cold bottle of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, you're the one who spends the most money out of the band. I play $70 cymbal.
Walking through a party in the county jail. The prison band was there, they began to wail. The band was jumping and the drum began to swing. You should have heard the knocked out jailbreak sing let it rock. Everybody let it rock. Everybody knows they are rock. Put them to the jail rock. Spider-Man painted in a saxophone. Little Joe blowing on the side trombone. And the shit said he said it makes me. I wanna stick around, I wanna give my kick. Everybody let it rock. Everybody knows they are rock. Put them to the jail rock. Put them to the jail rock.
Gee, that was wonderful.
Well, let's have another one. Here goes.
Hold it, gang. How about having some sandwiches and coke?
Hey, I'll go for that any time. Me too.
On to the icebox.
This smart young hostess knows there's nothing like giving folks what they want. When it comes to refreshment, what everybody wants is a Coke. Coca-Cola is so delicious, such real refreshment. Be sure you keep plenty in your refrigerator. Then you'll always be ready to serve and enjoy sparkling, ice-cold Coca-Cola right in the bottle.
So make sure you buy Coca-Cola.
I do.
You may use your phones for this assignment.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a.
Or if you, now in my fourth period class, I had people who weren't into music, they didn't have anybody that they really liked, they didn't have anybody they cared about. So I was okay with that because I know some people are not into music. But and then I had other ones that, their life depended on them listening to tunes every day. So everybody varies on how they're doing with their music. So if you can list an artist that either you know or you enjoy, or if you just have nobody, you can't stand music,
I'm sure
then I'll accept that as well.
And
But
artists.
any 1 to 5 artists, but I only have to pick out one to research and look at. What we're looking for is what influenced them. What musics did they listen to? What musics did they sing? This is what influenced me as I was growing up, and I put this into my music that I'm playing today. There was this. Garth Brooks had a special, and he was talking about in his household it was a mix between country music and rock music. His dad loved country music. His mother loved rock music. So he grew up listening to a lot of the old country artists. And then he listened to a lot of the rock. And so he said if he's driving in the car, if he's with his dad, the radio station would be playing. Drove with his mother, she'd have the rock station blaring.
Do you want to know what genre they are?
So what genre, not necessarily the genre they are now, but what influenced them in, you know, their music choice or the music they like to listen to?
What if you're your own favorite?
That's true. Well, I'm sure you're not the only musician who thinks that.
Right.
Axl Rose.
I'm sure there's a good portion of them.
So then can you put like what influences us or?
So just write down on your paper, myself, I think, and this is what the music that influenced me or influenced me to become the musician that I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you.
I yelled that. It could even be a itsy bitty spider when I was a little kid growing up.
When are you going to grade our test?
As soon as I get around to it.
Fair.
Yes. Your notes are due today, just FYI. You haven't handed them in.
I don't know who I like.
You don't have no one you listen to?
Does that mean like?
Oh, it doesn't, I mean, just.
Does that mean what it made them?
Very Johnny Cash. But I don't even like the trick.
Like what music inspired?
So what music?
It's not a bad thing.
Well, it's related to it. My aunt's like first cousin.
Let's not go there.
Shared a house with my aunt.
What's your
He was like friends with my uncle. When,
What's your aunt's name?
Huh? Aunt Amy.
So out of those
I
artists,
don't know what her name is.
you need to, if you don't have your phone, you can definitely look on the computer and find out what's growing up. Now, Paul McCartney with the Beatles.
High school road
McCartney.
My mom worked in a record store.
My tongue is going to roll
with
this.
a hardware store with Kristen herself. His sister.
He had a lot of blues and grass, was part of his influence growing up.
So it was one of those funny families.
What are your influences?
But my dad. No, that's a whole 3 different 30 seconds. He was a rock star.
Yes.
I think so.
And then you can also put down for yourself, what influences you with your music? What music do you like?
I do whale calls. Dory influences me.
That was good.
She's into orca.
Whoa. No, I don't know that one.
Whale music, very soothing.
The natives are restless in Montana.
It's have it easy because we're writing about a band.
You're writing about the band you're in?
So it's like we're just using the songs in a
Okay. Now, do you guys write the songs in your band? Okay. And who was your influence?
I don't have enough paper to write that down.
Well, there's only so many genres to choose from.
True.
What if we don't have a musical influence?
If you don't, you might not have a, well, your artist doesn't have a musical influence that you chose.
Who did you write down? Because I have a feeling we're interviewing completely different types of
Talk about
bands.
you?
We are.
Well,
guaranteed.
if it's not, then there's just.
I'm scared.
Like,
Well, that album was
That's so hard.
Yeah.
But like, if you go back to your original stuff, it's not.
Some of the
That Valerie's
that was straight up.
Just a couple of them.
But yeah, you go back to
are we sharing?
I'm just gonna call in a couple people to share.
I'll share.
I wanna go.
I'll share.
Okay, Emily's going to share. Go ahead, and who was your artist and what did you find out?
Okay, I have 3, but I'll go
That's
back.
fine.
Okay, my first one's Ty Dolla $ign, and Tupac influenced him. He was his favorite artist of all time, he said. And then my next one's 2 Chainz, and his influence were E40, Birdman, Too Short, Scarface, and Kanye West. And then my third one was Rich Homie Quan, and nobody influenced him. And he said, to be honest, when I started, I wasn't even listening to nobody else. And then I put what influenced me, which I just love the way that 2 Chainz raps and Young Thug, because everybody thinks they're so annoying, because they really are, but I think that's like what I love about them, because I think they're funny, and other
Okay.
people just think they're annoying.
All right, very good, thank you. All right, Aaron, would you share, please?
Yeah. So for the band, I chose Stuck in Your Radio. The lead singer, he goes by Sly, which is a YouTube name. Is from Puerto Rico and loved to listen to the American pop and punk songs. So as he grew up, he recruited a lot of his friends on the internet, and they ended up forming a band. And that band is actually quite popular on the internet. And then for what influenced me, was a combination of my love for songs about the military and along that genre, and then the second one was Indiscretion, which I'm the drummer for.
Okay.
And my influences are Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, 3 Days Grace, 30 Seconds to Mars, Johnny Cash, Maynard Ferguson, Benny Gray, Flatfinger Death Punch, Completely Smooth, Flesh Out Apocalypse, Trivium, Dream Theater, Mike Portnoy, My Pangini, Stone Sour, Bolt for My Valentine, Black Belt Bride, Breaking Benjamin,
So there's quite a collage in there. A different genre of music that influences.
I get my fans back.
Hey, Casey?
So mine was, one of mine was Fall Out Boy, and that they did a lot of, like the Ramones, they did Nirvana, they did Metallica, because they started out doing covers together, and it was like, they had like a lot of soul in there too, so they had like Sinatra and stuff. And, yeah, Michael Jackson, his influence was his dad's Ruthless Beatings. Other than that, it was like the Motown pop. Nirvana was a combination of like Led Zeppelin and all these different bands, and that it was like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC and stuff, and then like Sex Pistols and Iron Maiden. They wanted like this sound, but they didn't want to be like a hair scream band, so they went for the garage punk sound. And Indiscretion is the band I'm in with Cody, guitarist, and Fall Out Boy, Led Zeppelin, Panic! At the Disco, Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Nirvana, Elvis, 3 Days Grace, Avenged Sevenfold, Louis Armstrong, Black Veil Brides, Geek Spots, Ella Fitzgerald, 30 Seconds to Mars, Slipknot, list goes
Not
on.
such an influence, like so much. That's what like Cassandra. I listened to Slipknot.
I did not want to say
sixth
Deep Throat.
grade, and that's what started everything.
I know Deep Throat too, I didn't have Slipknot on there. No, it's not.
That's very good, thank you guys. The name Alan Green, and read a little bit of his bio, and you should be able to get the answer for question number 2 from yesterday.
Wait, what was question number 2?
Question was number 2 was, where did the term rock and roll come from? Oh, okay. However that comes from.
So-
The genres that we should have got already. I didn't know.
Go ahead.
Oh, quick, well, okay. Has anybody looked it up? Did anybody, we can find out.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Jackie, do I shut down? Because the